I'm Daniel Jones, founder and director of Hamish Vincent Design, and welcome to my home in Belsize Park. I purchased this apartment last year. It hadn't been touched for over 50 years, which gave me the opportunity to put my stamp on it. It's not listed, so we have the opportunity to start from scratch, but at the same time it's really important for me to be complementary to the architecture and to the heritage of the building. This once would have been a house over 5 levels. This occupies the raised ground floor, which gives us the almost 4-metre-high ceilings. So I really wanted to stick to the original design of the rooms and the kind of shapes, but then add my stamp and add my style. This actually is the only original feature in the flat. It was in pretty poor condition when I purchased the flat, so it was very important to kind of incorporate what would have been the original mouldings, the panelling. So it was trying to kind of hone in onto that and create quite a grand room. I relocated the kitchen from what is now the second bedroom into the lounge area, because for me entertaining is quite important with my friends and family and just enjoying the views over the garden. I have an interest in natural and raw materials, so it was really important for me to inject my personality in materials that also would last the test of time, but could also be changed. For instance, we used oak in the island with a fluted material, which I'm hoping that in the next 40 years could still be here. So I worked with Cornice London, who were very helpful, and we designed the cornice from scratch. So the cornice was actually 2 parts because I couldn't find a cornice that suited the scale of this room. And I'm quite inspired by the kind of Parisian style apartments, which in itself has more of a toned back, quite heavily features but very toned back. A lot of the cornicing was overly detailed, and then with other details in the room I just thought it tied in very well. It was kind of a tough choice choosing the paint colours for this room. The off-white is always the most difficult, but again worked with the company Atelier Ellis that I just found had that heritage feel. I wanted to walk into the apartment and feel that it'd been my home for potentially the past 10 years, not something that had just been renovated. It was important for me to kind of put my own stamp on the space, but make it feel that it potentially could have been here for a while, and injecting old bones with new personality. And I think again through the usage of natural materials it just works well. So this is called Arabescata Rosa and it's sourced from Italy. I really like the kind of the veining and the mix of natural colours, the creams, and it actually creates quite a nice contrast with the colour of the cabinets. Also very practical for myself who likes to cook, and potentially people are scared of using natural materials, but I think it adds to the story of the kind of aging process, similar to the Corston products where they do age over time and natural materials do change. Something doesn't stay brand new forever, but that's part of the story that I like to create in my design. When I travel, I often pack my suitcase with some little presents, items from Marrakesh, from Puglia. I like to kind of collect as I go, and I think it's important for a space to kind of reflect someone's personality, whether it be busy with lots of different experiences or very toned back and just relaxing. I think it does make the space reflective of the person who lives in it. Small details are important to consider when designing joinery, doors, the space from a practical point of view and also an aesthetic. I think it's easy to try and match metals. I think it looks much less contrived when there's just a mix and match of metals, but with a continuous theme. So for instance in this flat we have the bronze and the antique brass kind of ironmongery switches and sockets that fit in with the space nicely. On the island we have the antique brass hardware, which ages nicely and naturally, and again just complements the natural materials of the island. I think for me, I use Corston on many of my projects as little details such as sockets, switches, fuse spurs, items that someone potentially wouldn't consider. Is important to kind of have a continuous theme, the same as the design, for instance, the soft curves that you see throughout the flat. In the bedroom, we've added an ensuite through using oak-clad pod that is lower than the actual ceiling to make an obvious statement that this is new, but by using kind of natural materials mixed with stone, timber, oak, handmade tiles, it just complements the space and works for the current day. I think it's important to honour the architecture of the building, even if it does require updating.